Now, those of us who are serious lawyers, those of us who practice law, some of these federal prosecutors, former federal prosecutors, they watch TV and listen to these fools, and we shake our heads. And it seems like every 2 or 3 months there's a linchpin to get Trump and Russian collusion. And now it's Jerome Corsi and Roger Stone. May I say, with all due respect, two knuckleheads. So this is the linchpin to the Mueller investigation? Jerome Corsi, an author, and Roger Stone? This is where we come to? It's ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a political fight. As I explained a year and a half ago, and it took the geniuses, the law professors, about 6 months to catch up, you cannot indict a sitting president. Maybe you can, but under Department of Justice rules, you cannot. Which means that Mr. Mueller, who must comply with the Department of Justice rules, cannot indict the president. Period. So, from day one, as I tried to explain, maybe I should change my name to Dershowitz, Mr. Producer. I don't even know how to spell it. I do, I'm just kidding. As I explained on day one, the president is not in legal jeopardy. The president is not in legal jeopardy. This is all about a coup, trying to remove him from office. That's why his great haters among the Republicans, like Flake and Sass and the others, they want to protect Mueller. Because although Mueller is going after small fish and every now and then they leak and, oh, look at this Corsi thing. Oh, Roger Stone. Oh, we got the bid. Look at this. This is big stuff. It's a junk. It's a joke. It's a joke. So when Dershowitz says today, this report's going to be very partisan, it won't be fairly very, really? You think? I think so. That's not news. But here's what troubles me, ladies and gentlemen. No matter the turn in this investigation, the media are constantly rooting for Mueller, and they're constantly rooting against the president. They desperately want some connection. They desperately want the president of the United States to have been lying to the American people. They desperately want to bring down the executive branch. That's not the job of a free press. This is what requires our attention. This is why the Democrats and the media keep going after this guy, Whitaker. I don't know Whitaker. He's a perfectly fine guy, former U.S. attorney. He's under attack now by dim-witted Comey. He's under attack by the Democrats. You know exactly what the Democrats are doing. They are propagandists. They keep pushing lies and big lies. This guy Whitaker, he doesn't even know what hit him. He's the acting attorney general. They want Rosenstein in there, who's conflicted up the wazoo, but he's passive, so they like it. He used to work for Mueller decades ago, so that's all good. They like the conflicts in that case, but they concoct conflicts when it comes to Whitaker. We all know what's going on here. We've known what's going on here since day one. They pressured Sessions to recuse. Rosenstein is a coward. He ran for the hills, even though there was no criminal statutory predicate. He turned a counterintelligence investigation into a criminal investigation without any underlying crime related to the president. Even then, since you can't charge a sitting president, what are you doing? Now, ironically, we have people, friends and others, who are writing about Manafort making a play for a pardon. And that is, it's speculated why he is not cooperating with the prosecutor. How do we know he's not cooperating with the prosecutor? How do we know this guy, Mueller, and his sidekick, Weissman, who's been admonished by judges before for his outrageous, unethical conduct, how do we know it's not them who are trying to force Manafort to provide a false sworn document or false testimony? We don't have enough facts. We don't know that. It's incredible what they're doing, as far as I'm concerned, to this guy Manafort. I think they're so desperate. They just keep pressing him, making life miserable as humanly possible, to get him to say something that may not be true, but might be helpful to their report. Now, next point. Although somebody can say the report won't be fair, which seems to me rather obvious, the fact is, ladies and gentlemen, that prosecutors don't write reports. You do all your talking in the courtroom. And yet here, he's going to write a report. He's going to write an impeachment report. This thing is political through and through, beginning to end. That's why the media are rooting for Mueller. That's why the president's enemies in the U.S. Senate seek to protect Mueller. Because they want to undo the election of 2016. And I must tell you, trying to look at this from a very sober perspective, and I don't drink, by the way, trying to look at this at from a very sober perspective, what the hell has Trump done? There's no even leaked allegation that makes any sense. You would think by now, if they had an email where Trump was writing Vlad, hey, buddy Vlad, don't forget this, or writing WikiLeaks and telling, don't forget to leak that, you'd think by now they'd have it. With the enormous amount of documents that have been turned over from the White House, from the campaign, and you should know, there's been no assertion of executive privilege, not once by this president, to protect any of his records. Almost unprecedented. He's not hiding from anything. So you would think at this point, with 1,000 phony reporters investigating the president, with people who are cutting deals with Mueller and his team, with access to all these documents, you would think at some point, some way, something would leak out with the president's fingerprints on it. But there aren't. The best they can do is Jerome Corsi and Roger Stone. And then I have to hear these phony experts on TV going on that, this, and by the way, they use this voice so you think they're actually really experts. This Manafort situation here. This could be what leads directly to Trump here. That may be why he's resisting. So Manafort may be the roadmap, What the hell does that mean? What does that mean? And The Guardian writes this phony story, and it's been unraveled in one website after another. Here's one at Law and Crime, the Dan Abrams site, and he's a big lib, written by Matt Nahum. President Trump's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, says he's been told that The Guardian's report on Paul Manafort meeting with WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange in 2016 is unequivocally fake news. Meanwhile, the publication is being accused of stealth editing. Manafort denies it. Everybody denies it. Manafort is so angry, he wants to figure out a way to bring a libel suit. It's not immediately clear who told Giuliani this, though WikiLeaks responded to the report earlier Tuesday by calling the reporters responsible serial fabricators. Remember this day when The Guardian permitted a serial fabricator to totally destroy the paper's reputation. Read a tweet from WikiLeaks' official account. WikiLeaks is willing to bet The Guardian $1 million and its editor's head that Manafort never met Assange. WikiLeaks later asked if editor Catherine Vinner would resign, sharing quiet edits of the completely fabricated blockbuster. In other words, they're quietly editing the story, trying to adjust and modify the story. That's your free press. As Law and Crime noted before, the main claims of The Guardian's report were that Manafort met with Assange inside the Ecuadorian embassy in London on a few occasions. Now, let me tell you something. That place is bugged 1,000 different ways. All these embassies are, I have no doubt. And Mr. Mueller has access to all that stuff. Mr. Mueller and his team has access to all that stuff. So I seriously doubt this is accurate. The years were 2013 and 2015 and the spring of 2016. All right. 2013, 2015, and the spring of 2016. Manafort was not even Trump's campaign manager. So this is the big story all day long. manufactured news, a fabrication. I think this is the roadmap that they're looking for. And also leaks coming out of the prosecutor's office as well as a public filing that now they're really going to take care of Manafort. Because he's been lying to them in all their 40, 50, 60 hours of interviews, and he won't give them what they want, you see. Now, as for this speculation about a pardon, let me shock you all. First of all, Mr. Mueller's appointment was unconstitutional. I don't give a damn what the Supreme Court rules. I can read the Constitution with my own two eyes. I can see his authority. He's no inferior employee of the federal government. He's more powerful than any United States attorney in the country. And we know that because the Democrats and the rogue Republicans want to protect him. We need to protect this man. They don't do that for any other United States attorney. They don't say that Trump cannot fire a United States attorney. What they say is he must not touch Mueller. Well, that tells you all you need to know. So his appointment violates the Appointments Clause. It also violated Department of Justice regulations. And the man who appointed him was conflicted up the wazoo, as I said. And you can't indict a sitting president according to the Department of Justice's own rules. So what's this about? And it goes on and on and on. And now you're led to believe. Now we've really got Trump. On what? And by the way, can I tell you a little secret? It's not illegal to meet Russians. Yes, Democrats used to do this all the time. In fact, they used to meet Russians who were part of the Soviet Empire. Ted Kennedy was over there, and all of his buddies would talk to the Russians. Aldrich Hiss, he would talk to the Russians in the old Soviet Union days. But they did so in a way that was thoroughly illegal. But it's not illegal to talk to the Russians, ladies and gentlemen. It's not. I mean, if Obama can talk to the Cubans and the Iranians and so forth, he can talk to the Russians. I'll be right back.